So Terry, I'm Madison, and I'm your student nurse today, and I was in your meeting with your doctor earlier today, and some concerns that got brought to my attention were your smoking habits and you just getting diagnosed with asthma, so I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about that with you today, if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Thank you for being open about it. So could you tell me a little bit more about your tobacco use, how much you do it, how often?
Well, yeah, I smoke like 2 packs a day. I've been doing it since forever. Yeah, so like I said, like 2 packs a day. I just kind of like use it as like a coping mechanism, like with the depression that I've had and stuff. It just makes me feel better.
Okay, so I hear you say, your smoking's a habit for you to cope with your depression, and it's a way for you to relax and stuff, and that's fine. But so I kind of wanted to give you some advice and try to get you to cut back, maybe, if you're open to that. How do you think, on a scale of 0 to 10, are you ready to change?
Maybe like a 3.
A 3? So have you given any thought to changing your habit?
Not really. I guess I'd be able to see my niece a little bit more if I did, but I just feel like if I cut back on smoking, then my depression might come back, or, I might not be able to deal with things as well, so it's not really something I'm interested in doing right now.
Okay, so you said that if you cut back, then maybe you could see your niece a little bit more. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so my brother, he has a 10-year-old daughter, and I love getting to hang out with her and stuff, but he doesn't let me smoke while I'm around her, so that can kind of get in the way, because since I said, like, smoking 2 packs a day, like, smoke breaks and things like that, and I just kind of get jittery and stuff if I go for too long
Okay.
without having a cigarette.
Okay, so could you give me some pros of why you smoke?
Yeah, it, really helps me to relax and de-stress, especially with everything that I've dealt with my depression and things like that. It helps me out a lot. When I'm at work and stuff and we take smoke breaks together, like, it's a time where I get to, like, see people and, things like that, but mostly just because it, like, helps me to feel better.
Okay, so do you see any cons with your smoking habits? Has it affected your life in any way, your health?
A little bit. I think it is probably a big part of my asthma, which is a newer thing, and, like, I cough a lot, and I get these really bad sinus infections, which they told me might be because of my smoking. And like I said, I don't get to see my niece as much as I would like to, because I always have to think of, like, oh, will I be able to go that long without having a cigarette or something like that, and then if I, like, try to sneak it or something, my brother gets really mad at me, so I know that's not good either. And then my dad, he died pretty young of lung cancer,
Okay.
and he was a heavy smoker too, so that's always kind of in the back of my mind.
Yeah, so did your mom smoke at all?
No, she didn't, but she lives out of town, and she didn't smoke, but she's fine and healthy.
Okay, so have you ever considered, ways to maybe cut back on your smoking, or ever thought about, maybe I'll smoke 1 pack a day instead of 2?
Not really. I don't really have a problem with, like, smoking 2 packs a day. It does kind of get to be expensive, but I haven't really, like, thought about cutting back or anything. I'm mostly afraid that I might fall back into, like, my depression that I had, and, like, I don't want that to happen.
Oh, okay. So, are there any hobbies that you have that, you could maybe do instead of smoking all the time? Maybe something to distract you from an urge that you might have?
Well, hanging out with my niece is definitely something that could kind of keep me focused, because she's really great to spend time with. But also, like, I do like to exercise, so that could maybe be something. I don't know. It's kind of hard to do with my asthma.
Yeah.
I get tired really easily and, like, really out of breath, so I haven't done that as much since that's gotten worse.
Okay, so could you maybe tell me, on a scale of 0 to 10, if you had to quit, how willing would you be to quit?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really know if that's, like, something I could do or even, like, say.
So maybe at a 0?
I don't know, maybe more like a 2. I mean, I don't think it's impossible, but I just haven't really thought about it. I mean, I don't really know why we have to talk about it anyway.
Well, I just wanted to talk to you about it just so that we can kind of touch base on, you know, we talked about the pros and the cons of smoking, and it just kind of concerns me because you smoke 2 packs a day, you have asthma, you cough, and you have shortness of breath, and your father died of lung cancer at 66, so, you know, I don't want to see you going down that path, and I'm sure your family, you know, doesn't want to see you going down that path, so I just kind of want to help you maybe consider the option of quitting and, you know, think of ways that maybe you can cut back and slow down on it so it's not, you know, so bad for your health. And
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I don't know. I just think it would be something that would be, like, really hard to do.
yeah, and
You
I
know.
understand that. It is really hard to quit something that you've been doing since you're 14 years old. You know, you've been doing that for a really long time, and that's really hard to quit something that's a habit now. At this point, you're 28, is that correct?
24.
24? Okay, so you've been doing it for about 10 years, and I just want you to understand that, you know, if you keep going down this path, it might, you know, lead to more things for your health and your relationships, and I'm sure everybody would like you to cut back a little bit so you can, you know, be a happier, healthier person, and maybe find some coping mechanisms to relieve that stress that, you know, we've been talking about, your depression that you have, and how smoking really relieves that stress and takes your mind off of things and everything like that. So maybe you can start doing yoga, reading a book, taking walks. It doesn't have to be like super physical exercise, you know, since you have asthma.
Yeah.
Those are just a few suggestions that I have for you.
Yeah, I guess I don't really understand, like, why it's anybody else's business. Like, I mean, I can do what I want to do, and, like, other than, like, not getting to see my niece, and, like, yeah, I'm, like, sick sometimes, but, you know, it's not like I'm dying.
Yeah, and I understand that that's how you feel, you know, you feel like you're 24, you're still young, you have your whole life ahead of you. Why does this matter right now? You don't have, you know, any detrimental health issues as of right now, but I just want you to understand that it could lead to that, and thinking about quitting is a really good thing for you to do, and I just hope you consider it. And is there any way that maybe we could schedule a follow-up that you would maybe want to talk about it?
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, I know I don't really feel like quitting now, but I definitely have started thinking about it more.
Okay, well, hopefully after this appointment, you know, you can go home and reflect on our conversation, and maybe that will motivate you to take an extra step, and I would really like to see you again and go make an appointment if you're open to that with me.
Okay, yeah, I'd like
Okay.
to do that.
Thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thank you.